Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren. Wait until the end. Liebe Veranstalter des Horizont Awards. Das Jahr ist noch ganz neu und trotzdem gibt es diese Woche bereits zwei sehr große Events. Diesen Horizont Award und die Ernennung vom neuen Präsidenten der USA, Donald Trump. Ich habe mich einfach für das wichtigere Event entschieden und bin deshalb nach Frankfurt gekommen. Vielen Dank, vielen Dank. Ich liebe Deutschland. I love Germany. I love being here. I grab every opportunities to come here. I have many friends and I met many familiar faces in the room. Thanks to all our clients, to all our talents, and most important, vielen Dank for having me. It's a great honor for me to be invited in such a prestigious night. I don't want to come back too much on the figures of Havas. I'm not here to sell you Havas, and you have presented quite well the company. I've been asked to try to speak about how I see the future of advertising, the future of the relationship between a client and agency. Maybe one thing, because when it comes to talk about the future, it's always good to talk about the past. And when I look at Havas' history, it's a very long way back. It has been created in France in 1835 by Charles Havas. It was the first ever advertising agency. And what I can say is I'm still very, very happy to be still alive. The only thing I wanted to stress. Maybe two things about us. If I just want to keep two things that would make us different, I would say number one is integration, is how you can make your different agencies converge together. Not to have creative silo on one side, not to have media silo on the other side, and digital PR even. How you can try to grab every opportunities to make them work in a more seamless way, to be much more efficient for the clients. This is what we have been trying to do over the last 4 years. And second thing, maybe I would say even more important, is the fact that we are family-owned. The Havas Group belongs since a couple of years to a family group, the Bolloré Group, my family group, which makes it pretty easier because first, I'm not elected, so I'm just named, so I have nothing to worry about my job, so it gives me, no, but I'm not necessarily joking, I am, but in fact, it gives me long-term perspective. I can focus on the long term because, I mean, when you know you will be there in the next 20, 30 years, you have to take commitment for yourself because you know you will see the clients back, you're not preparing your next job. Though, what I want to stress is that this ability to see the long term, not to be only focused on the short terms, it's giving us a true advantage. Tonight, I'm thrilled to be sharing some of my views with you, and I wanted to start by sharing two videos, just to share with you how the advertising has went from 25 years ago, because the first advertising is from 1990, to this year. So let me just start by a video. It was a video for something you all remember, I'm sure, from 1990.
Mario! Mario!
He's back in the all-new Super Mario 3. Nintendo, now you're playing with power.
We all remember Mario Bros. But what's important in this commercial is to remember that 25 years ago, the only way for a brand to address consumers was to do this top-down advertising. It was impossible to create interactions between consumers, between brands and consumers, it's between consumers by themselves. I just want to share with you another commercial that we've produced for another video game 25 years later. Just before you see this very short video, I wanted to give you a little bit of context. This is a video for a video game called Watchdog, which basically is the story of a guy who's hacking through his phone all the city's system. So with your phone, you can switch on the lights, you can take money from the bank, you can basically do everything. And we have created not a classic TVC, but a live experimentation. Let me share it with you.
Hello, and welcome to my shop. Today, when a customer comes to fix his telephone, I will put something very special on it. You see street light?
Yeah.
Same principle. Again, I hack. Light out.
Oh, shit. Oh. That's amazing.
You like that?
That's like the best app ever.
It worked with ATM. Look, if I do this. 1, 2, 3. Hack it. It's green.
Oh my God.
You just experienced what you can do in the upcoming video game Watchdog.
Wow, Watchdogs? That's amazing. Cool like that.
It'd be cool to hack everything.
Yeah.
This would have been literally impossible 25 years ago. The way we are trying to produce ads, the way we are trying to create awareness for a new product, thanks to social amplification, thanks to digital, thanks to PR, to event, is completely changing. One thing I want to stress is the new media landscape. We used to live in a world where media were linear. You had your TV channel, you had your print, your outdoor. Today, everything is upside down. This over-fragmentation is changing completely the way we are consuming content. 25 years ago, it was possible to pay for attention. You were just buying TV ads, prints. People are no other way but seeing your ads because you had no other opportunity to see content than to watch TV, basically, or listen to radio. Today, you have so many different opportunities to watch content on different platforms that you just not need to pay for the attention, you need to earn the attention. We are clearly shifting from a world of only paid TV to paid and earned attention. But the most important thing is how your brand can become meaningful to the people. The meaningfulness is, for me, a key word. It's not a buzzword. At Havas, over the last 8 years, we have conducted a research survey with a very, very simple question. We take people and we ask them this question. If this brand come to disappear, would you care? If this brand come to disappear, would you care? And the results is crazy. For 70%, 7-0, for 70% of the brands, people say they wouldn't care. I know there are a lot of great CMOs in the room, CEOs. My neighbor was a great CMO. Just imagine these results. Just take this room. We are tonight maybe 1,000 people. If next year 70% of the people were not here, it means like 700 people we won't be here anymore and nobody would care. I think it is something crazy, but it is something that we need to listen. My next point is how to leverage those new platforms. Before I move on, I'd like to share with you a video we did about a campaign we did on Instagram.
It's easy to miss the alcoholism of someone close. Our proximity prevents us from spotting the early signs of addiction. AddictAid, an organization specialized in alcohol addiction, wanted to highlight this difficulty. For that, we created an addict.
Louise Delage.
Opinion leaders and automated bots. In 7 weeks, Her photos and videos had over 50,000 likes, but her followers missed the most important thing until her last post. "24 hours after the reveal, #LouiseDelage became a trending topic in France. 2 weeks later, the campaign had been shared 500,000 times, and more than 110,000 people were following her account. Louise Delage was covered by media on every continent. With zero media investments, it generated 1 billion media impressions for 9.8 million of earned media. But the most important result, the campaign raised awareness of our perception of alcoholism."
And the whole point about creating the social media campaign was an attempt to show how easily we can overlook signs of addiction.
1 billion impression. I don't dare to tell you the budget, because otherwise this will be the end of people like me. I'm a very good friend with the creative director who did this ad, and he told me something which was super meaningful to me. He said, you know, for me, because I said, do you think technology, what do you think, how do you see technology and creativity? And he told me, in that case, like in many other cases, technology for me, it's like providing me new creative tools. It's like if I were a painter to discover new colors. All those new platforms are not opposed to creativity, but how technology becomes a new creative tool. One other thing, this campaign has been done in a part of the world, but it could be scaled so easily. Because with digital, there is no more border. Local and global comes together. But just to come back on the initial idea, what is the agency of the future? I think the answer is not easy. Of course, I would say that integration is a key component for me. Being able to break traditional silos, making our people from different parts of the world, different agencies come together and shifting from a group of individuals to a true collective that really partners hand in hand with clients as one team. It's for me the organization of the agency of the future. How to align our people's interests and clients' interests, how to make them collaborate, and don't ask to our client to adapt to our own structure. I don't believe this is how it should work, especially in a world where digital has broken everything. There is no point anymore to have differences between creativity and media or digital or even PR and event, because everything needs to work together if you want to make something efficient in order to maximize the customer experience, but most importantly, the user experience. Allow me to highlight 3 points that are for me the 3 key areas we are working on right now to try to be the best agency for the future. The first one is creativity. Yes, you heard me, creativity. I go to a lot of forums where people say, is creativity dead? Will technology replace creative people? What creativity is for? I believe this is the opposite. Because the media landscape is over-fragmented, people have too many opportunities to watch good content. So if you want your content to navigate in these oceans of platforms, you need to be super creative, especially in an algorithm-led world. But talking about algorithm, I've been working a lot with artificial intelligence tools, and I have one conviction. Algorithm and artificial intelligence will never replace creative directors. This is a very strong belief. We have some creative people in the room. Feel happy. The second topic for me that we are working on to build the agency of the future is content. Not content as a new buzzword. I believe content is a kind of new pop culture. If you want to be a successful agency, you need to produce and to adapt your content for TV screens, for social platform, from Snapchat. 2 weeks ago, it was the Christmas break. I spent 2 weeks with my kids. And the last day, I wanted to watch something on TV, and I just realized the TV was not working. We were on holidays. And I say to the girls, but TV is not working, what's going on? They say, no, Dad, it didn't work for the 2 weeks of holidays. I remember when I was your age, if TV was not working, even 5 years ago, it would have been a nightmare. But I said, how do you watch your kids' stuff? Say, we have Wi-Fi. How you have Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi today is becoming more important to people than drinkable water. I mean, it's insane. Insane. Wi-Fi, you will choose your hotel depending on the speed of the Wi-Fi. Content is important. At Havas, I didn't mention it, but I want to talk about that. We have the opportunity to have a cuisine company, which is called Vivendi, which the Bolloré Group is a reference shareholder with 30% of the shares. And the Vivendi Group is basically, for those who are not familiar with it, the home of Universal Music Group, #1 in the world of music, with Rihanna, Katy Perry, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Gwen Stefani, Lady Gaga, and all the greatest artists in the world. The home of Canal Plus and Studio Canal, Dailymotion, which is a competitor to YouTube, the home to Gameloft, which is the #1 producer of video games in the world for mobile. And I do believe that being able for an agency in the future to present some exclusive partnerships, ideas, new things that we can produce on content, or at least to be in this movement, to know what's going to happen. How can we make sure that we sit on the first row and we can influence the world of content, the world of platform, how it will be in the future. And last point, after creativity and content / platform, I want to talk about data. Not talk about big data for hours like you all know. But data today is a reality. For me, the agency of the future, and this is something we would all agree on, would be able to deliver a customized message at the right people. I'm going to share with you an anecdote, which is a true story that basically happened 3 years ago. It was January 2014, so exactly 3 years ago. I was on my way, like every year, to the Silicon Valley, to San Francisco, so like kind of a new Mecca, where you have to go every year, at least. And something happened to me. And this day, I understood that we needed to work hard as advertisers. I just walked out of the plane, go through the immigration, and then I received a text message on my phone. And basically, it was saying, hi, Yannick, welcome to San Francisco. If you want, we can offer you 30% discounts on salmon sushis in a very nice restaurant near your hotel. True story. Say, what's going on? And it was an advertising. And honestly, as an advertiser, it kept me up at night. I didn't know how they can know that I'm in San Francisco, which is my hotel, and how can these people know that I like salmon sushis? And then the next day I had my meetings, and in the afternoon I went to Google, and I was sharing my experience with some tech guy there. And I remember perfectly, there was this brilliant Indian guy who told me, yes, I know, it's me. I'm very bad at Indian accents. And I say, what do you mean it's you? Say, yeah, it's me. I'm doing new experiments for advertising targeted. I said, come on, but how did you know that I was here in San Francisco? He said, do you have Waze? I said, yes, I have Waze, like billions of people. But we follow you even when your app is turned down. I say, no, it's not possible. And I went to my settings and I discovered that for Waze, even when your app is turned down, they can follow you everywhere where you are in the world. So he knew I was here with him and arriving in San Francisco. I said, okay, I got this part. So tell me, how do you know which is my hotel? And I said, we monitor your calendar. Say, what do you mean you monitor my calendar? Yeah, we go in your calendars. The place was filled by my PA, so they know where I was staying, in which areas I was staying. So, okay, I started to get a little bit curious. And then, last but not least, I said to my new Indian friends, okay, but salmon sushi, it's a coincidence because it happened that I love salmon sushi. He said, yes, do you have a Gmail account? Say, yeah, like 1 billion people or 2 billion people has a Gmail account. It's free, it's good. And he said, did you never wonder why it's free? I say, no, why? Because you're a nice company. and say, because we have developed an algorithm with thousands of variables that can monitor every email, every Gmail account in the world. And so we know you well, and we can send you targeted advertising. And I checked on my inbox just to look for salmon sushi, just I wanted to make sure. And 10 days before, I was exchanging email with my wife. She asked me, what do you want for dinner tonight? I say, let's go for sushi. What kind of sushi? I say, oh, let's go for salmon sushi. I love salmon sushi. That was all like a genuine conversation. So the world we are living in is fantastic. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure in this room we all have our own opinion, whether we are entering into a fantastic or a crazy world. What is sure is that for me, this is how the future is looking like. So I'm sure you have all your great opinion if it's good or bad. I'm no philosopher. I just wanted to thank you again for inviting me and sharing some of my thoughts. And vielen Dank.